What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to the Diablo Resurrected Research Institution. I am your host, Professor Ice Deck. Appreciate you guys for coming by. Like the video if you will, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the page and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And become a channel member or a patron. Links in the description below. So what you have before ye now is a Necromancer. But not just any Necromancer. Nay, this is a hybrid sort of Necromancer that I think one of you guys mentioned in the comments how you could have a fully fledged skeletal warrior army while at the same time having a pretty decent poison nova. So it got me thinking a little bit, okay? Because I'm tired of the droid. My droid performs like ass, and the wind droid is a pain in the tail, especially without an enigma. The summon droid sucks big you-know-what, so I miss having a summon Necro, and I wish I would have made one for the ladder start. And I might livestream one coming up here, because I actually did start him out now, he's level 11 on the ladder. But we'll see, because I do have Diablo 4 to be playing, the beta, and I'm quite excited for that. But, basically, what I did with this guy, and don't freak out in regards to the gear, okay? Because look, I don't have a single charm in this inventory. Speaking of which, how are my res? My res are okay. Not a single charm. No Annie. And Annies are basically free now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even have an Annie here, or a torch, more importantly. But I do, however, have Enigma. But I asked you not to freak out over it. This is for research purposes. And basically my Poison Nova is only level 31. So I don't think that's too hard to attain that level. Couple GCs here and there, some skill gear, you're fine. The damage is not spectacular. Yes, it is maxed out, but its synergies are not. So I maxed out Skeleton Mastery, level 29. And then I maxed out Skeletal Warrior. Yeah, because what I'm going for here is a slew of homies, of hombres, of muchachos, to follow me around and basically be tanks, while at the same time casting amp damage on the enemies. My mercenary is going to be a tank as well. And I'm going to be casting Poison Nova, just to mix things up, and I think it's going to be a good time. Here, before I show you the rest of the stuff, I don't know if I should try that here. I'm not going to try the Frigid Highlands yet. What I'm going to try, here we go, these guys. Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy toad, look at this! This is amazing! And yeah, it's Act 1, that's fine. Oh my god, this is destructive! I do not have a Death's Web. So keep that in mind. No Death Web here. Oh shit, this is gonna be awesome. I love killing the big mobs. I love just breaking up their little parties. And just killing them all. Hell yeah. Yeah, no Sunder Charm, and those are basically free as well. Oh, and I do need them against these guys. So I'm just gonna skip them. Alright, so I'm going to find the pit, and I'm going to show you guys the gear, but this is amazing. This is better than I expected. Oh my god. And look at this, you have your homies, like sometimes you can just chill. Let's see how well the homies do. I'm guessing it's not going to, don't, oh god. A couple hits. Look at that. That is amazing. And there's a very cheap one that you can attain that nobody wants. The Arm of King Leoric. And then you could have Spirit on your offhand or something with 2 skills. Because this gives 2 to summoning skills and 3 to raise skeleton. So 5 to raise skeleton in total. So you could switch over when you summon them up. And most likely you're not going to have to resummon them throughout the game. This obviously would work without Enigma. I just really wanted the convenience. Oh my god! Oh, gee whiz! Make a godly smoke armor out of that thing. Here's a godly smoke armor right there. So, yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with this. But I wanted Enigma on just for convenience. But oh my god, did you see that? Holy shit. And this is a very convenient build because your mercenary wears insight, something cheap and easy. And he's not getting many kills here, so it doesn't really matter that I have a very nice insight on him. It almost doesn't even matter. He's barely getting any kills. You could have a crap insight on him. But this is amazing. Because when you fully commit to poison, the problem is you're on your own, man. Yeah, you have your mercenary, and maybe you have a shitty golem at your side. But if you try to raise skeletons or whatever, they're just going to get one-shotted if you don't invest much into them. And yeah, you can pump up your lower res to be a fully optimal poison necromancer. But the problem with that is that's really all you have then. Maybe a couple revives. But revives are annoying, let's be honest. You have to resummon them every 3 minutes. And I hate doing that. And lower res, although it's a great skill, it's a lot of investment. Because as you can see here, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prereqs. Not counting amplified damage, just to get to it. Alright, so it's a major skill investment just to get to the damn thing, which is what I really don't like about it. So I decided to just have the 1 point I have into amp damage to help out my minions and my mercenary and poison Nova the things that I can. With Asunder Charm, this will work even better. So I do have Heart of the Oak on main hand, but obviously I could have Spirit Sword and I'll only be missing out on one skill. Yeah, my resist will take a hit, but then again, I am swarmed by my homies, so they really help mitigate damage anyway. So is all the res on this thing really needed? And the FCR, granted it's very nice, it's not really essential with the Poison Nova Necromancer anyway, because they don't overlap each other. They simply they don't stack. They simply override one another. So as long as you cast one every 3 seconds or so, generally, you're good. And even with the shittiest cast rate possible, you can still get 1 or 2 out per second, so it's no problem. What I really like about this build is that generally I wear Trang gloves anyway as a summon Necro. But of course then the poison skill damage goes to waste, and that is an epic stat, plus 25% to poison skill damage. Because I love the curses that you get from this thing. I love the FCR. The cold res is nice as well. But the poison skill thing is just something you don't take advantage of if you're a full-out summon Necro. Because check this out, without them, I'm doing 3,900 Poison Nova, and with them, I'm doing 4,800. So about 1,000 poison damage gain right there, about a 25% gain, as stated. I don't have any great rings here, because I'm trying to keep this somewhat attainable. So any ring will do, and again, you don't need a ton of defense with this build, whereas Dwarf Star is a very defensive ring. So I really could just take these off, and he'd perform quite well anyway. But I have 2 Dwarf Stars, Sandstorm Tracks, to help out with the poison res, but of course you could have whatever you want here. Maybe even Marrow Walks or Silkweave for the +5 mana per kill, which would be nice with Poison Nova. So if you don't have an Insight Mercenary, I would probably go with Silkweaves. But there's not much of a reason not to have an Insight Mercenary. You don't need a Reaper's Toll one because you can cast a Crepify anyway if you wanted to. And amp damage as well. So you could have a Pride one, obviously, to help out with your summon damage. But I'd rather just have the convenience of Insight. Infinity would be great. Granted, it wouldn't help with your poison damage, because Conviction only works against cold, fire, and lightning. But Infinity would help, of course, with your skeleton's chance to hit. But even still, Insight is a very budget option. I do have Maris. That's fine. You could have a +3 P&B amulet or something more budget, but I just have a Maris on this guy with a Charmed Shaco and Enigma as mentioned. But here's the key to this build. I think that really helps propel it. It's a 3-part Trangs build. So I have Trang-Oul's Girth, 66 to life, replenish life plus 5, godly as fuck stat, plus 50 to mana, 30 to maximum stamina, even more godly, and cannot be frozen, which is very nice. But then you get the Cold Rest 40 with 3 parts. But primarily here's the reason. With the 3-part Trangs here with the shield, you have this epic stat, negative 25% to enemy poison res. And of course the shield itself gives 2 to poison and bone skills. And you don't need it to give to your summons if you're summoning on Switch anyway. Which I have Homo on Switch, along with King Leoric's Arm. So I think this is a great combination. And I'm curious to see how it does in the Frigid Highlands. So let's go take a look-see. I'll show you my skills in just a moment here. But so far, just from my little bit of playing it, I'm enjoying it much more than I was my Summon Droid. And oh my god. Look at that, it's not bad. It's not that bad. I've seen a lot worse. Like a Summon Droid with twice the skill investment, twice the skill gear. Oh my god. Look at this. A more budget one, you could have a teleport staff on Switch. Dual spirits. Maybe some Grand Charms for skills. Alright, let's see how well it fares against the Trav. Oh my god. So, the skeletons are staying alive. Oh my god. Now, what would be amazing, and I do intend to test this out. Say that you were to have the lucky find of a Death's Web. Alright, you found that shit in a pit or the Cast Sanctuary or something. And say that then you wanted to make a build around it. This would be a great build for Death's Web. Especially if you're not using lower res. Because Death's Web has a massive poison pierce. And you can have a Sunder Charm now, so you can break poison immunes anyway. And then pierce the shit out of it with Death's Web. Along with Trang Shield, you'll have up to a 50, 60, 75% pierce to enemy poison res with those two together. So I think that would be a great combination. And I do intend to test that out. Now this would not be a player's 8 build. Here's another thing. I have 1 point into Corpse Explosion. So let's see how the Corpse Explosion does here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Yeah, so they say there is no good Necro build without Corpse Explosion. And it's true. They say you're robbing yourself if you don't use it. So, with that being noted, I'm going to start using it. And we'll see how fast... Look at this shit. This is amazing. And this is... It gives you a lot to do. Which is another great aspect about this build. You're not just chilling like you are a full-out summoner. You're actually being very active. You're cursing as you normally would be doing. But you're casting your Poison Nova. And you're also casting Corpse Explosion. So you have to be a bit strategic with the placement. Oh my god! This has got to be the most exciting Necromancer I've ever played. And I just made this shit up. You've seen it here first in the Research Institution. So like this video if you will, hit the thumbs up button. Oh my god, look at that. I only have 1 point into Corpse Explosion, and I think I would prefer to keep it that way. So the great thing is, as you can see here, my summons are still alive, all 11 of them. I haven't had to resummon anything. Well, the Clay Golem, but he's ass anyway. You don't have to have him out. It's just by choice. Oh, shit! Look at this! Dual uniques. An exceptional and an elite. One of my faves. Razor's Edge. 219 enhanced damage. Very high. Is 220 the max? 225, maybe? That's a godly one. 2 to droid skills. So what's great about this build is you don't need very high summons. I would max them out for sure. Max out Skeleton Mastery and Skeleton Warrior. But other than that, you don't need Summon Grand Charms. And they're not doing a ton of damage here, as you can see. They're doing 280 damage apiece. And you have 11 out at once. Of course, you have damaged basically everything, so that helps a lot. But the great thing is, once you get to this point, you can start stacking Poison and Bone Grand Charms. Because that'll both benefit your Poison Nova and your Poison Explosion, and your Corpse Explosion. Which, at level 18 right now, I only put 1 point into it. It has a radius of 6.3 yards. And of course, with Corpse Explosion, it always does the same damage. The only thing that changes per level is the mana cost and the radius of effect. So, you want that as high as possible. So you could stack up from here PNB GCs and you could have yourself an epic Necromancer. So imagine this guy, even with a Torch and Annie added. Not even counting the Grand Charms. Oh my god. Oh! Damn! Dumbass! Alright, really didn't mean to die right there. I wanted to see how this build could fare against Satan, or maybe more importantly, the cows. So I will return, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so I switched up my hotkeys a little bit. I generally prefer having teleport on right click, rather. So I think that was messing me up a little bit, not having it on right click. So yeah, this build, it's going to take some getting used to. Just that you have a lot to do. Which is good, I think. Because it gets a little boring when you just don't have that much to do. And I think such is the case with a lot of builds in Diablo 2. But this build, I think, will take some exercising to master it, which is a great thing. Not too much. It's not too tedious, and you can chill when you want to chill. But if you want to be like really optimal with your DPS, you got to learn to maximize your efforts here. And try to stay safe. Stay safe. Stay away from the mob. Alright, so now I'm not far. I'm about where I was last time when I died. Well, yeah, check this out. My minions are all still alive. So I think that would be the exciting part about this, is working towards maxing out your Corpse Explosion, Radius, and your Poison Nova damage, which would be a spiritual journey. And the reason it would be so rewarding collecting those GCs is because you're not just doing it for one skill that you use. You're doing it for 2 skills. Which is, I think, would be a good time. So let's see how well it deals with the boss. This is probably not going to be a great build at all for bosses. But that's fine. I'll even get out the Clay Golem. Let's see how well it fares against Satan. It's not a good boss killer. So don't get too excited. Buddy's gonna die. Maybe 1 point into lower res would be a good idea, but again, that's going to be 6 skills taken away from what you're seeing right now in my Poison Nova. So it would have quite an impact against that. I'm going to go and make the cow level. I think that might be a place where this build would excel. So let's find out. So, the thing about this build that is interesting is the fact that it is fun. Alright? I mean, look at this. You got your homies, they're busting their asses, they're staying alive, although I would suspect some of them to die in this instance because cows hit like trucks. But they stay alive for the most part. They're still alive. You have a lot to do. This would be a rewarding build to actually make, I think, because you're kind of unique. I mean, you're doing it all. And you get better and better every level. Like, this guy's 88. And I still haven't maxed out my Poison Nova synergies. I'll show you my skills in just a moment here. Well, this is a fun build, man. Alright? And you get crazy style points for using it. Look at this. Holy shit. Look at it go. On Switch, you resurrect your homies. You summon them. But oh my god. How rewarding would it be to find the GCs? So I would like to make another video on this guy with, say, a Torch and Annie. And just see what the progression's like. It's going to be quite substantial, I would hypothesize. So stay tuned to the Research Institution. And we will find this out together, how godly AF this guy can actually get. So, yeah, this is pretty good, man. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this build. Here's my skills. So, what I did from the ghetto is I maxed out Skeleton Mastery, I maxed out Raise Skeleton, and I put 1 into Summon Res and the prereqs. And that's it. I put 1 into Amp Damage. Fortunately, your Triangle Gloves gives +2 to curses, and the rest of your gear is going to help out with this as well. So, currently it's level 12 with gear. It's not bad. It has a pretty good radius. And of course, Amp Damage doesn't get better in terms of its damage pierce. Per level, it only increases by radius, similarly to Corpse Explosion. So then from there, I just put 1 into all the prereqs, I maxed out Poison Nova, then I maxed out Poison Explosion, and then there's one more synergy left, which is Poison Dagger, and I have 24 into that. So basically, you need 7 more points at this level. 7 more points. So this guy could be maxed out in 7 levels, man. Alright, from 88. So, level 95, which is a very high goal, but nonetheless, it is achievable. Then you can have this shit all maxed out, and just how epic would that be to have a fully synergized Poison Nova along with fully synergized Skeletal Warriors. I think that would just be epic. And couple this with Death's Web, a Torch, an Annie, and an inventory full of freaking PNB GCs, and then SOJs for that matter, and this guy will be godly as a freaking toad. So I would love to explore this a bit more thoroughly. Like I said, a Torch and an Annie I think would be a good place to start. Maybe pop on D-Web if I really want to start kicking ass. So stay tuned for those videos in the Research Institution. Appreciate you guys for coming by. Like the video if you will, subscribe to the page. More videos to come. Peace be with you.